This is the hour, on time, every time, once a week on a Sunday. I greet you and I hope you spend the hour with us. When I say us, I mean the production team and myself. I'm just the front, but there is a full production behind what we do on a Sunday, headed, of course, by my trusted brother and dear friend, colleague, and partner, I should say, Carlos Charles. So, welcome again to another episode of the hour. We do what we do best once a week on Sunday. And in this episode, we're going to look at a number of things. One, the major focus on our discussion today is where do we go from here? And I know many people have been asking me, what do you mean? What are you suggesting? Well, you'll find out in a few minutes exactly what that means. I'm also going to look at the Put Pen to Paper initiative by Shelley and Trilogy on the mic. Is that they like? Kaiso Monarch of Dominica 2023. They're opening a writing event masterclass on Monday. That is the day after this program airs first. And I, of course, I'm in full support of the youngsters and will be doing all I can to help them on this event and other events moving forward because I believe passionately in youth progress because I was once a youth and my progress was denied me because of politics, and that still progress is being denied me because of politics 30 years almost after. Well, I stopped being a youth at 35, so let's say 20 years after, the progress is still being denied. Well, 30, I think, 30, stop being a youth. So let's say 30, 20 years after. But you get the point. But even before I stopped being a youth, when I was a youth, I was being pressed in the system. Because when UWP came to the scene and I, like every other young Dominican, gravitated towards the new idea, 2 years after, and I was gently young, very, very young, just left school. So 2 years after, I was fired for the first time. I was around 20, 21. So I was terminated, 20, terminated from the police force because of my support for UWP. Purported support at the time because I was not even sure what it was. I wasn't in this thing. So I have been frustrated in the system for years, 30 plus years. So I know what it is for young people trying to make progress. That's why I have dedicated the rest of my life to help every young person who I see is trying to do something good. And Shelley and Trilogy, you guys are doing something good with this Put Pen to Paper. Again, yes, I have to confess, I'm doing a presentation. Yes, I am. Thank you for inviting me. And I'm trying to appeal to people now with children to get your children registered for this event that starts tomorrow. If at least one or two of you want to do it last minute, let's do it. Get involved in that program. I saw the program, amazing. I'm not too sure whether Shelley and Trilogy can accept more people, but I'm still going to ask for more because the more the merrier. So I'm looking for at least two people today to sign up their children to be part of this writing masterclass with these two fantastic young writers. I always speak about my experience as a younger person in Dominica because it's necessary. And it's very, very crucial that no other young person goes through what I have gone through in Dominica to survive. When once the politics is against you in your country, in a small island democracy, you're in problems. And that is my experience. So that's why I'm so passionate about helping young people. I'm trying to right the wrongs. So I'll be dealing with that as well. I also will be talking about some current events, political events that has been taking place. And if we have time towards the end, we will do the little feature on where on earth is Asa. Frankly, I didn't even bother to trace Asa this week because I don't know. I got caught up and Asa is caught up, and I just felt maybe when I have more time, I will try and follow. But I know our producers have been doing their work, and we may just have something from Asa. We never know. But at least we'll find out where he is. But my emphasis is not on trying to follow him the way that I presumed I would have, because there are other things to do. So that's pretty much what we want to discuss today. I hope you stick around to be part of it, and we'll see what that goes from there. We begin with Where do we go from here? And I'm going to play a video that really highlights what it is that I'm trying to say. So let's look at that video and then we will speak a little bit about the theme. Where do we go from here? Check this out, guys. We are in the middle of Major League Cricket, July 13 to 20, 2023. Cricket comes to America. And this is significant, it is huge. I think we have a couple of West Indians on the teams. I'm going to show us the teams as well, because I think there are like 6 or maybe 9 franchise teams, the first set of teams. And I'm going to try to explain how significant this is and what I think can be done even at this 11th hour. But before we get there, let us focus on West Indies, and then I'll climax with my discussion on playing the video again and telling you what I think that Major League in America signals for cricket in the Americas. But for those of us who are from the Caribbean and we understand cricket and have loved cricket, I am a fan. I played cricket at probably the highest level. I was called on the youth team, Dominica, at least on 4 occasions. I never played though. I never really toured because people like Darwin and Delvin Esprit, Darwin Telemark, Chochas, Schwau, Teixeira, Albert Timothy, Anthony Scotland, Anthony Joseph, and the long list of names. Too many to mention. Clay John, this guy, Tom, Geoffrey Lafont. These people were on the team, and it was difficult to dislodge these guys because they were established. So I was on the squad for 4 years, never played, but I was there, a steady presence. I also was called on the Dominica senior team and was called on the 17-man squad. The squad was cut down to 13 to tour St. Lucia. I didn't tour that year. And I resigned. I retired from cricket. It was too much press, I think, for me coming from the country. And the things that was being said to me in the nets and in the camp, it was a lot. So I was a country boy. I don't think I belonged. I left their cricket for them at 20 years old. I never played cricket again. So it's a long time I left cricket. 30 years plus I left cricket. I just stopped playing because I was not going anywhere. I made trials four times under 19. I can't make the team. I make the senior team. I can't make the team. I said, that's it. I resigned from cricket at an early age. And I left them in their cricket, but I still love cricket. I should be a wicket keeper, open batsman. And I would play a good cricket. So I like cricket. I played Premier Division cricket for the CP Summits for a number of years. So I was a keen cricketer. I understand the game. I grew up at a time when West Indies was winning. And when I became an adult, West Indies started to lose. I remember when West Indies lose against Australia for the first time in the Caribbean. That was in 1994. We have been winning up until 1994. And a wicketkeeper, I think Courtney Brown, was picked from Barbados to keep wicket before, I think, Junior Murray, or was it Jacobs? I think he was picked before, was it Murray? I remember vividly, but I can't remember whether it was Jacobs or Murray that was dropped for this guy to make the team. Brown. And Steve and Mark were brothers who were playing for Australia. And I think Steve was batting, and he was on about 9 or 10, somewhere thereabout. And he was dropped by Brown. A dolly catch, dolly catch, and Brown dropped the catch. And I think he went on to score a double century, and his brother came and banged some balls, and we lost against Australia in the Caribbean. And since West Indies lost or lose to Australia in 1994, West Indies has never been competitive as they had been before, again, ever. Yes, we won a little test series and a little white ball cricket, but we never dominated cricket the way we did. No, I'm not saying that West Indies must dominate again, but we never really show up as competitive as we should because a lot of things change. The rules of the game change, the attitudes towards the game change, the science of the game changes, strategies behind cricket change, a lot of things. And there's a good guy now who is the coach of the team, Darren Sammy. I remember Sammy once said that every ball in T20 cricket is an event. And it's true, you have to look at every ball and determine how you're going to play that ball because each ball is an event. But West Indies play cricket, the way I see their strategy for cricket is like, I'm not too sure whether they focus on the overall picture, psychologically, culturally, and all the other alleys that go. When you go down to bat for West Indies, you go to bat for everybody from the Caribbean. When you go captain a team and toss and win a toss, you don't win the toss for you and your team, you win the toss for us. So there was a test match played in Dominica last week, Wednesday to Sunday. Today should have been the final day. And if the game had gone until today, there would have been pandemonium in Dominica. Picnic style, hundreds, maybe thousands of people in the Windsor Park, making a lot of money. Vendors making money, people spending money to buy clothes, money in the economy. But the West Indies cricket team caused us to lose 3 days of cricket and 3 days of economic prowess in Dominica. I'm going to explain why. I'm not criticizing West Indies because I would want to one day in the future work with the team to help build the team. I've always tried to get involved in things that I think I can help with. And I will not say as much as I want to say, but I'm going to put things in perspective because I still support West Indies. And the national anthem of West Indies will be played after my program just to show my support. I'm not against the team. I'm not against the team. And I'm not going to be like the typical Dominican who, of course, I support Cavem. And I'm crazy about Athanas. I think that's the future of West Indies cricket. I will not say that they can do no wrong because they can do wrong. Because I hear some people pledging support and saying, oh, these guys can do no wrong for me. Yes, they can do wrong. If they do wrong, you tell them that they do wrong. But for now, Kavem and Atanas are heroes, so to speak, emerging stars. Well, not quite heroes, but emerging stars of our cricket. And we support them 100%. And I support the government of Dominica 100% for bestowing the title or the honor of ambassador on these guys. That was perfect. Nothing wrong with that. And we should give them all the support, all the assistance. And I hope they can go on and make a lot of money. Alas, they won't be playing in India for the World Cup because we didn't qualify for World Cup. So they're not going to be on showcase. But I'm hoping that with what the overseas team have seen so far of Athanas and what they know of Kavem and what they have seen, that at least they can get selected to play some international cricket, hopefully in India, because the Indians love West Indies type of cricket as well. So we hope that our 2 West Indians from Dominica can get contracted and some other West Indians as well to play international cricket. But the test match we saw in Dominica on Wednesday, it was a very good showing. So yes, we failed to make the World Cup. That's one. I'm not even going to dwell on that. But the West Indies team in Dominica was a little blow because I have interest in Dominica more than any other Caribbean country. Although I love the Caribbean same way. But when you get a test and the government pumped so much money into getting the field ready, I think about $1 million, I heard Cecil Joseph said. That's a lot of money to get a place ready for a test. And the test team comes in and plays schoolboy cricket. Not that they meant to, but it worked out that way. First things first. The West Indies team won the toss and elected to bat on a pitch that they're not sure how it's going to bounce because the pitch was covered for how many days because of the rain. And I mean, you win the toss, invite the visitors to bat, let them go and struggle in the uneven pace with the moisture and everything else. Chances are they might have batted for a day or more than a day, and that might have stretched the game even longer. Because even if, let's say, for strategic reason, you decided to bat first. But look at how it ended up. You batted for less than a day. And the other team come back for a day and a little more and gave you enough runs to beat you in an inning. So think of us in Dominica who get ready, we hungry, we sweat for our cricket. We are ready to give you 5 days of full support that no other Caribbean country gives you. We in the Dominica give cricket support in a way that no other Caribbean cricketing country. Maybe India do it in terms of the excitement and the energy. But no other country in the Caribbean support cricket the week, support cricket in Dominica. And you come here in Dominica, Mr. Captain, you win the toss on a pitch that has been covered almost throughout, and you're going to bat. Okay, even if you think batting is the best thing, but you know India, the way India bat, they have a way of occupying the crease. They spend a lot of time, not scoring a lot of runs, but they spend a lot of time. Send them to bat. Give us another extra day. Because you know you're going to get rattled out in a day. What you going to bat for? Think of us. Think of the government. Think of the people. We open up the doors for you. You win the toss. Let India bat. What is so wrong with that? How is that going to hurt you strategically for India to bat first? Okay, you can't get them out there bat for 2 days. Okay. But you can go and bat for a day at least. And then you have to go and bat again. So we have at least 4 days of cricket, almost 5. But when you go and bat and get out for 150 in less than a day, the game must end in 3 days. So I'm not castigating you. I'm sorry that people like Liam, my dear friend, Damascus, Sebastian, et al., did so much work, prepared the ground in such an immaculate form, excitement around the place, people coming out, people dressing, people wearing the national colors, people carrying their flag, and you come and let us down like that. It's not fair. So I do not know how we're going to fix this, but we have to fix this. And that is where the theme for today is, where do we go from here comes in. What do we do from here? We're going to go to Trinidad, I think, for the next game. I do not know how it's going to end. I hope we do better. I hope Kavem plays. I do not know who to drop because I'm not a selector. But I just hope Kavem can play. But after a defeat like that in Dominica, you must change your team. And if there's one person's pick that is sure for sure, I know it's Alex's pick. And he's picked for the next tour as well. So I hope Kavem and Athanas play, and they could go and score 100 partnership when they're batting for West Indies in the second test match. In terms of the overall picture, the broader extra-regional picture, we see the major cricket league was established in America. Major League Cricket. And I'm telling you, if I know the American entrepreneurs well, I know cricket is in America to stay, especially the shortened version is T20 they play. They do not like that 50 over and red ball 5-day test match. That's not America. But you see that T20 that America has a major league right now? Watch it. That is cricket in the Americas. Because we are part of the Americas. We are WICBC. And that cricket in America, I have not done my research on it as yet, but that has to be under the auspices of WICBC as well. And if WICBC doesn't want to sanction it, these guys will create the other I guess, entity. They will. I do not know. I have not researched it, but I have just seen it. And I just felt I will bring that here. And the warning is that we better get ready, because the resources, $120 million already raised, will be pumped into that league, and that league will extract a lot of players from the Caribbean. We already have 2 or 3 on the leagues among the teams. And that's going to be a problem for us. That's going to be competing against Dominica, Trinidad, Barbados, and all the other countries in the Caribbean. If this cricket has been played closer to me, I would have gone. The price is right. $12, $15 starting. I would have paid $20 and go, but I don't want to go to Texas. I couldn't if I want to. What I'm saying is, because of the access of capital in America, cricket in America for a major league is going to be the thing, the destination, the venue, especially since Caribbean cricket is so unattractive. So I am willing to help. I will maybe try to reach out to the authorities to see what we can do. I have ideas. And I was always told, if you have ideas, offer ideas. People may find your ideas not good, but you offer it all the same. We have to do something. And certainly, it bothered me when the West Indies team won the toss and batted. The only other person that said they would bat if they won the toss was Cecil Joseph, because Cecil doesn't even understand cricket. Cecil is a footballer. Cecil never played cricket in any serious way. But everybody else who spoke about the pre-game round said that that is a wicket to not to bat on. But you're going to bat on it. And you know we're not firing the way we used to fire before. Let India go and bat for 2 days. That India would at least grind and grind and grind. We don't have the grind in us. I mean, I think with Sami on the team now as the coach, I think we will go places. I think the team will get better, you know. But for now, the team has a lot of work to do. I'm not criticizing our team. I'm just analyzing what I think went wrong in Dominica. And I think you see that toss there, that toss could have made a big difference. We may not have won, but I think that game could have pitted out into a draw. Because India was not going to bat for less than a day and a half. Look at India declared for five down. Was it 5 or 6 down? In almost 2 days. They would have bat and score 500 same way and give us, and we would have bat until the other day. But they would have to go back and bat again. So the cricket might have gone into Saturday. So people would say, at least we fight. We try something. But the way we played there, we didn't fight, man. And I'm seeing the comments on MO News from Dominicans. Some of them saying, well, we will win. We're still supporting West Indies. But people are brutally hurt. And that is not what the West Indies team wants to do to us. So, Sami, I'm going to call you as a coach. I'll try to reach out to the president and others. And as a West Indian, as a Caribbean man who still support my West Indies team, have never not supported West Indies. It is just shameful that we didn't qualify for World Cup and now we are getting eliminated in our country, right in Windsor Parkway. Them man come in and just blast us off the world. How much lower are we going to go before we break away from the problems? Now we know what the problems are, but how are we going to fix it? We all must play a part in fixing West Indies' problem. And I'm willing to step in and do what I have to do, if I'm allowed to do what I have to do. And anybody else can step in and offer. But we have to fix our problem, especially now that cricket is birthed right in the Americas. See, America, there is 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours flight from Marigot there. That's where cricket is going to be making the millions. Millions, 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 millions. And I think cricket will be one of the biggest paying games in America within the next decade. Recently, there a fella, what's his name now, the footballer from thing that signed, he won the World Cup, Messi. Messi's in Miami now, you know. Messi signed up for a team in Miami. Messi could have made a few $100 million in Miami, right down the road, and build a house maybe on the intercoastal somewhere. Guys, we have to wake up. We are losing our talent because of the insularities on a wider Caribbean level and worse in the territories like Dominica. When you do something differently, when you try to use strategy to build, people trying to kill you, press you down. Who are you? So it starts in our communities, it's in our countries, it goes through the wider Caribbean, and this problem is festering, and we are going to lose a lot of talent. A lot of talent, including people, human resource, and expertise. If we do not wake up, we would lose paradise. Because some of you believe that the best way to progress is for you to keep people down, for you to go up. Now, I'm not saying that they do that in West Indies. No, we know the problem with the bigger countries in the Caribbean. There was a time, and I'm going to be quite frank, I used to believe that Barbados was bigger than Dominica. I'm good 100% frank with you. Because when I was playing cricket for national level, I was a open batsman. I was the Gordon Greenidge, in my head, To me, all I saw was Gordon. And if anybody who saw me play cricket, I was Gordon Greenidge. The way I would cut my ball, the way I would drive, hook. I mean, I was Gordon Greenidge. I don't think Gordon wicket kept, but I was an open batsman. And Haynes was an open batsman too. I think he bat left, Gordon Greenidge bat right, I think. Am I right, guys? Is Haynes a lefty? But these two guys were from Barbados. And the way these guys were playing cricket and the things I used to hear these guys say about Barbados, I used to think Barbados was bigger than Dominica. Of course, I had not traveled yet. Because the first time I went to Barbados was in 1988. Peter, George, and myself for our visa. Oh, but I have a long story about that Barbados trip and how we lose our flight by my fault and how Peter almost hit me up. So I had not gone, why, and I'm telling you, I'm just youth, that's little boy business, But I remember those years. In the 70s, 79 World Cup, little boy hearing they make big men like them, like Shasha and these big boys talking about the World Cup. Was it 75 or 79? Well, 75, I didn't remember. I was not there. But 79 for sure, I was a youth hearing the man talking about World Cup. Or 80s, was it 80? It had to be. And they used to show the World Cup as the replay from Australia, wherever it was, but they had to show the highlights of the replay. But I used to think these guys, because of what I used to hear about them, I used to think Barbados was bigger than Dominica until I landed in Barbados and realized Barbados was small. I never did my geography to check to see. But the way they spoke, so the bigger countries, so to speak, always believe that they're bigger than us. Even Antigua, somehow, I used to think bigger than Dominica. And Antigua can go in Dominica how many times? You can valley Antigua how many times? So there is an insularity problem in the Caribbean, and that has affected our cricket. Thanks to God, at least they picking Dominicans now. But look at Sebastian should have made West Indies 100 times over. Well, the Sibo from the year, Sibo do have big people pushing for him. And at the time too, Sibo was up against it, because that was Gordon and Haynes, Greenwich and Haynes era, I think. So it was tough for Sibo. But at least Sibo could make it win. Irvin Shillingford made the team once. He scored 130 something in his first first game. Sibo, he never, not Sibo. Irvin never made the team after that. I mean, if he knows are wrong, but Zaidi, Norbert Phillip, an amazing fast bowler. He used to bowl at us in youth cricket. I say Zaidi wants to kill us, man. The vengeance from being dropped on West Indies, taking it on the young boys on the 19. I remember jumping and ducking and weaving like hell, and Hildreth Johnson, the umpire, they're saying, woo! I'm telling you, Fingers, Ambrose Sylvester, them fellas were quick. And there was a guy from North, called Stowell Charles. That fella was quick too. And them were bowling at us with no face. A fella called Caleb Nura used to bowl some off-break at man. Thomas Kentish and them fellas there. They man should us decale us. But we trained well because these guys were good. But these guys could not play. There was one time where Dominica had about 6 or 7 people on the combined island team. Windwards and Leewards combined. 7. And now we have 2 fellas on the West Indies team. And then we had Sanford there. But besides that, who else now? Because Dominica is a non-entity when it comes to West Indies cricket. So they dilly-dally around us, they keep us or whatever, they do select us. And not just not selecting, but the attitude towards people as well. So there's an insularity problem in West Indies cricket that I think is better than it had been. But we have to do some work at it. And we have to engage our players. The captain of the West Indies must know when he is tossing and he's going to decide. You're deciding for all of us, not for you and the team, for the entire West Indies. Think of Dominica when you decided. Say, boy, if I gone back then, oh, I don't know. Or I believe in my team, but I think India should go. India going to spend a day or 2 in the wicket. Yeah, Dominica, I'm going to let in the bat. And we're going to bowl at them like crazy. We're going to open the bowling with Atanas. Give us something, man. So where do we go from here? We have to regroup. From an island level, I think our cricket is in good hands. Very good hands. Very, very good hands. We just have to work with our team. I think Liam, I'll call my partner name. That is a youth I saw from youth. I call him Damascus. That's our name. And he knows why. So ask Liam Sebastian why I call him Damascus. I think Liam is the 2nd vice president. I love this youth. His father is my brother, Lockhart. So I think him and the other team members of the team. I'm not calling all the names because I think sometimes fellas like you to call their names. When fellas don't like you in certain ways, they don't just want you to call their names. But I know Liam is my boy. So I can call Liam name. And I can call Clemo too. Clemo is my partner too. I say Clemo. Clemo is the president. I think he is vice president of West Indies too, something like that, Clemo. So the guys are doing well. but the team is letting us down. We have to get something done. So Clemo, probably I might have to go through you to get to Sami and those guys, Osibo. But we have to do something. Let them know that there are guys in Dominica who are concerned and we are willing to help. We're not criticizing, we're just analyzing. So that is what we do from here. Put a task force, not the prime ministers, Not the prime ministers, These guys don't understand the thing from the critical level. They're making policies and playing, they know cricket so much. Fellas that never even bowl a ball in their life. If you bowl a googly at one, they're going to tell you is a flipper from baseball. They don't know cricket, some of them. Our task force of what? We have technocrats, we have people who understand the game. Do it from that level. We understand that they have to do their stuff. You say, I give my government credit for doing what it had to do to get the cricket ready. That is where you belong. Stay away from the cricket because you guys are just messing things up when you put your hand in stuff, your political hands in stuff. Instead of you bigging up the cricketer, you criticizing them. Anyway, I'm not going to single any prime minister from Caribbean. I don't want to be against anybody in their politics. But I'm hearing the things this guy is saying about the West Indies team. That's not how you big up the West Indies team. No. Stay out of the operations of our team. Let our team play. Let Sami and those other guys technically manage the team and give us all the amenities like you give us in Dominica. Do that. And you can get a little interview if you want on halftime, on lunchtime. Fine. Play a little, claim your glory. But stay away from the nitty-gritty of our cricket. You politicians. So that's what we need to do. Get the best team, the best ideas together. Have a retreat. West Indies cricket, do a retreat in Dominica at Windsor Park. Bring at least 200 people from the Caribbean together. No, that's too much. Bring at least 50. That's too much. 30. And let us talk. Gafford still then at the stadium. He's supposed to be the manager or something there. Have it at the cricket stadium. And let us have a nice discussion. We might have to do some sessions on the pitch as well. Let us talk about the future of our cricket because we are going to have problems. That's why I themed my program today, where do we go from here? Because if we don't do something, that cricket there. You see the cricket that landed in America there? Watch it. Watch it. All right, so that's it. That's all I had. I want to play the theme song, rally around the West Indies as I end this section and get to the other section, which is the writing of the two youngsters from Dominica. So let us jam that from David Rodder so we can get our energies going and we can support our cricket. I have never not supported West Indies, and I'll never not support West Indies until I die, because that is my team. But enough is enough, man. How much lower can we go? So let's rally, guys. Let's do it. Let's come together and fix our cricket. So here is my contribution. Well, David Rodder, as we move on.
the runs are gonna flow again like water, bringing so much joy to each and every son and daughter. Say we gonna rise again like a raging fire. As the sun shines, you know we gon' take it higher. We gotta rally, rally round the West Indies, one forever. Yeah. Rally, rally round the West Indies, stoke up the fire. Way down under, a warrior falls. Michael holding falls in the heat of the battle. Michael should have left long time. I heard an angry brother shout, Caribbean man, that is the root of our trouble. Oh, in these tiny theaters of conflict and confusion, better known as the Isles of the West Indies. We already know who brought us here and who created this confusion. So I'm begging my people, please. Oh, we got to rally, rally round the West Indies, now and forever. Yeah. Rally.
All right. So that is Rhoda David from TNT singing Rally. I saw David Rhoda perform recently. Not his usual vibrant, exuberant self, but he has left us a timeless and timely track. So let's rally around our West Indies. Cricket, in terms of its socio-political, cultural impact on the Caribbean and the world, is bigger than anything else. So yes, we may be losing today, but what cricket is really deeper. The roots of cricket go much deeper than the performance on the field right now. So that is the kind of conversations we need to have. So I hope the authorities of cricket are not too thin-skinned and they understand that people are concerned. I did not criticize today. I just suggested a few things. And I went back, to 1994 to talk about when things changed. And I know when Brown was selected to keep for West Indies at the time, he was not the best person available. I'm not saying that he dropped that because of whatever, but there are repercussions. We've taken certain actions. So he was a fine keeper, but certainly he was not the best equipped technical keeper at the time. And I know Brown is a guy that I deal with, I line with in Fort Lauderdale at cricket. He was the selector, chair of selectors. I know him. He's a nice guy. But at the time, it's not his fault. He didn't select himself. But when he was selected, he was not the best technical wicket keeper for the Caribbean team at the time. And alas, he dropped Steve. Was it Steve or Mark? Steve Waugh, I think. And that was the end of, that was the beginning of the slide. And again, we can talk about the strategy and the other things that are done. We stopped playing our game. We are playing the game they tell us to play. We are not to bounce each ball at people, but we let them take the game away from us. And that's where I come in, guys. That's where I want to talk to us about, and we hopefully will do that sometime soon. All right. So that's that in terms of cricket. Next, we want to put pen on paper. From cricket to calypso and bouillon. So calypso is another rich cultural art which ground us as a Caribbean people. And no, calypso did not begin in Trinidad and Tobago. Calypso is not a Trini thing. Calypso is a Caribbean thing. And I'll expound a bit more on that tomorrow. Yes, Trinidad has done so much more with and for calypso than we could have even dreamed of doing. Mais c'est pas ça yo. Afuawi. Alawi song that. So yes, they can claim the branding of the art, but the art does not belong there. However, the art is significant. And the art of calypso is the kind of a foundational, robust music, protest form, expression used to ventilate against a system of oppression. And we will talk about the naming of calypso and all of that at the session tomorrow. So you young people who are going to be at the event, you're in for a treat. So calypso, so Dominica, like Trinidad and other countries in the Caribbean, own calypso similarly, same way, because our ancestors gave it to us. Our ancestors who came from Africa. Calypso did not begin in Africa. Calypso began in the Caribbean, but from African extract. With some of the rhythm, the attitude, the timing was put into the calypso, the chatwell, the call and response was put into the calypso in terms of the African roots. But the calypso as a form, like Creole, was created in the Caribbean. It is truly Caribbean. And we have two young guys who are singing extracts of calypso. Well, one is a Calypsonian, he won the Calypso King of Dominica, coming from Bouillon, and Bouillon is a derivative of Calypso. And Soca, and Kada Slipso. Oh, we're going to have some fun at the session tomorrow. We're not doing that on this program. I'm just trying to get to what Shelley and Trilogy are doing. So one guy is a Calypso King of Dominica, He came from Bouillon, young guy, 24 years old. Won the Calypso crown on his first go, writing his own songs, employing the best strategies. Strategy is key in everything that you do. Knowing what to do, when to do, how to do. And with who to do it too. And when to listen, when to hear, when to stop, when to act. Life is a science that if you don't use properly, you can sometimes get out of whack. So Trilogy is Dominica's Calypso monarch coming from Bouillon, first time in Crown. Shelley came from Calypso and went to Bouillon, and Shelley has the biggest Bouillon songs in Dominica now. Shelley doesn't have the wind up, whatever it is, but Shelley has song that touches the soul. Those songs will live forever. Angels in the Sky being the latter. Trilogy too, We have some big songs. I didn't realize Mr. was so big in Bouillon until I started checking him out. I only started following Trilogy when he came into Calypso. But this guy is huge. So Trilogy and Shelley have come together to do an event called Put Pen to Paper, a writing event. And that is one of the areas that is lacking so much in Calypso and Bouillon. So Put Pen to Paper is a master class. Thank you, Simeon. I got the correction. And I conveyed your sentiments. Simeon, you're a darling, my friend, my blood. Thank you. So these guys have put together a curriculum to teach young people for 2 weeks, starting tomorrow, Monday, about the rudiments of writing. But they didn't only stick to writing. These guys covered an entire thing. I cannot publish their curriculum. They'll do that tomorrow. But I look at the curriculum and I smile. These guys are ready. So they're going to teach young people how to write. I was not taught to write. Nobody was willing to teach me, but I do a little writing. And imagine without being educated to write, I was able to write songs to win Road March Crown and have taken me around the world to get record deal with Jetstar record and stuff, as a non-writer. So can you imagine what is going to happen after a Trilogy and Shelley are finished with those young people for this 2 coming weeks? It's good. The sky is the limit. We will get at least 2 or 3 more Calypso writers, maybe more, because there are multiple people who have registered to be involved. Many people have registered. And today, again, I have not asked Shelley, no Trilogy, but I'm going to ask for 2 more people to register. Guys, if you have a daughter or son who you think can benefit from a program on the summer, during this summer, beginning tomorrow at UE, please register your daughter. I'm going to put up the program again, and there's a link, I think, where you could go to register right now, or inbox me, guys, directly right now, and we will arrange for you to be able to register. Send your daughter or your son. Now, I cannot read this thing because I don't have my glasses. And I cannot see that fine print that Shelley and Trilogy think I'm young there. But guys, if you cannot read it for yourself, you can inbox me and we'll arrange for you to be able to link up at least for two other people. The first two people who contact me, I will make sure I call Shelley and Trilogy and tell them, please take two more for me. Guys, I put you on the spot, but I'm asking for two people. Let's do this because this is a treat. $150 is pennies to spend on your son, daughter for 2 weeks, to follow a workshop for writing, to get them proficient in writing calypso and also writing Puyo. And I see the list of people going to be coming to assist. The who is who. They're going to understand the beats, the rhythm, how things are written, how things are done. I mean, it is amazing. So I wanted to give Shelley and Trilogy a section on my program today, guys. I didn't ask them to come on. No, they're busy preparing. I will represent you guys. All I can say is the children who have registered are going to have a blast from tomorrow. And if you want your son, daughter, nephew, uncle, parent to be part of this, contact me right after this program. Let's set you up to get into it. If you do not have all the money, we can talk about that too. Because I spoke to my partner, Carlos, who is the leader of Team Unity Dominica, and Carlos told me that the movement is willing to meet a student or somebody who does not have the fees halfway or even full way. So guys, this is an open invitation to you. See, Upanilaja, Anu still Pali, let us talk. Try to get you to go to UE tomorrow. That could be a life changer for you because one song could change your life. And Shelley and Trilogy have the potential to prepare you to write that one big song that could make you the next big name in Dominica's music. So I wanted to do that. I did it. I opened up for two people. Guys, inbox me right away so we can deal with it. We can make sure we take care of that. Move forward with that. I wish Shelley and Trilogy well. Guys, I'm going to be supporting you as you know. The next 2 weeks is going to be exciting. Keep me posted. Maybe I might even do a midweek live for you guys. You never know. But for sure, on Sunday, we're going to do a review of the first week of the Put Pen to Paper. So if you cannot come, Shelley or Trilogy, or both of you, one of you should come or send a student with me because we need to talk about where we are on the first half of the program. So thank you guys for such a big initiative. Thanks for inviting me to be part of it in the background and also as a presenter. I am proud of you, young men. I think the sky is the limit. I think Dominica is ready for you to lead. Don't worry to those who are leading now and tell you to. You guys step up and lead the vibes, lead the charge. I'm not talking politically, yeah? Although that might be a thing too, but I'm talking about in your area. Take that lead. You are no longer followers, you're leaders. So go with my love and my support and my strength. God bless. Thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. That's it in terms of my second section. Boy, we're doing well. We have another section to go in terms of the politics of Dominica. I certainly won't be able to do the Issa Bantan section today because although we know he's in St. Lucia and what he's doing and where he is, but we don't have the time to feature him today. Maybe we'll do it next week if we have the time. So Issa, big up, stay well, continue flying the flag high. Represent. And if, as I say, if we can squeeze a minute for you at the end, we will do that for you. Well, for Dominica, not for you. So we'll see how that goes. So enjoy your carnival in St. Lucia, represent Dominica's flag. We know you can do that, Issa, and you'll always do it. Good. Final section we're going to do is Matthew Walter. Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Member of Cabinet, Minister, Honorable Ambassador, my parliamentary representative, former, for multiple terms, former school teacher, a community man, fellow in office brother, a man who had never been sulky to me, always a firm handshake and a nice smile. with a little whisper in my ears, I know you will not vote for me, but you know I'm going to win. So you better don't lose your vote and vote for me. Yeah. Some of you all, that was not easy. Anyway, Mr. Walter, um, you have put out like 3 parts now of a declaration that you've been making. And I applaud you for this. Speaking out now is the perfect time. Don't let anybody tell you you're speaking too late, or let them tell you what to say. You're saying what you have to say, my dear friend. So I welcome you to that side of the argument, because that's an argument, Mr. Walter, my dear friend and former MP, that I have made. You would have heard me make that statement, that the Labour Party of Dominica is not in power in office today. I have said so over and I have seen you call the party some other name. I didn't give the party a name. I just said it was a power sharing arrangement that was in place, put together by the Honorable Prime Minister, who represented a different kind of political ideology. I never understood his ideology because he's confused. I thought he was a conservative. I thought he was from freedom, which he did come from, but he has his own idea of grandeur because, based on my research, he has this far left ideals when it comes to his politics. So, from right to far left must be confusion. So he has been governing Dominica on a labor platform, but with a confused idea approach by just doing what he wanted to do in a power sharing arrangement. And Mr. Walter, dear minister, MP, and friend, you know I have said that many times before. So you should have given me a little credit when you were speaking. Say, look, Alex Bruno has always said, because I am your friend, Pirate. We never had any beef. So at least give me a little credit. Well, I'm not asking for credit. I'm happy that you are saying what I have seen and have been saying, that the Labour Party, the last time it was in power was in 1979, when Patrick John was kicked out. Freedom took over. 15 years. Labour in the doldrums. Workers came, nice vibes, break away from freedom, kind of and benefit from the energies at the time. Then workers was taken out by who? Hey! You think it was the Labour that took out workers? Remnants of freedom orchestrated by Dame Eugenia. So the power of Labour now is the injection of freedom. The biggest labor rights in Dominica today are former freedomites. And there was one time the Prime Minister said that he is the leader of the Freedom Party. And you, Mr. Walter, sat down there and don't say anything. The leader of your Labour Party saying he's the leader of the Freedom Party. Mr. Ito said that's not true, and you stand back against that. And Ito was right. But that is what that man believed, and that's what he has done. Look at who is the leader of the country, government, him, and who is the president. So you, Mr. Walter, knew that your Labour Party had been hijacked long time. I'm not saying that it's too late to talk. All I'm saying is that you're welcome, and let us have a candid discussion, because healthy parties are good for any country. I would like to see a very healthy UWP, a very healthy Labour Party, a very healthy any other party there is, including TUD. Because you cannot just have the two same old. In fact, I think the party system have failed Dominica. That's why you see the emergence of new parties. New parties don't emerge in a system where they don't have to emerge. People might say, oh, why a new party? Why another party? You'll see more parties emerge in Dominica because people feel the need to do something. The only thing is, we cannot all do something on our own. We should do it together. Have a master plan, do it together. And I don't think the together has to be on an old platform. It could be on the old, new, medium, new, whatever. But Mr. Walter is echoing views, and I'm so happy that I live to see the day that someone saw the light. So yes, there are labor rights who think it is labor that's in power, but it's not labor. It's whatever party Walter called it, which again, I'm not against Kerry too. I really have no issues with the man. The man did what he had to do. The man realized he get a nana do. He get a easy wicket. He get some pace, but erratic pace. and some kind of a donkey drops in terms of slow bowling. So he man scoring runs. But if you had tightened up on him the way you should have, he would have been bowled out already. That man not invincible. He can be beaten. But the way in which you want to play cricket against him, he playing science, you playing bam, boom, bam, Patterson, just dropping ball, boop. He going to hook you, he going to duck. You're not going to get him out. So Mr. Walter is speaking, and I applaud you, Mr. Walter. You're a man. The only thing is that you're not speaking for Dominica, you're speaking for Labour. And it's okay. Because if a good Labour is good for Dominica, but we have not had Labour in place for a while. So it is nice that you're thinking of fixing Labour. The only thing, sir, is that Labour is now scared. So when you take out scared Labour, let me give you ideas. But keep speaking. I hope you have 4 more parts. And I hope you find much more, a better reception than you have gotten from the people who once opposed you or who still oppose you on both sides. I think it is foolhardy, maybe even foolish. Some of the comments I see the opponents of Mr. Walter are making on social media and other places. I mean, you guys couldn't have gotten it more wrong to come at the man like that. A man who coming from from community man, from community elder, well, not elder yet, teacher, MP, minister, cabinet member, ambassador, community elder, retired, and to be doing what he's doing now, and you giving the man blows, saying it's too late where he was when he said Barabbas and so. Now he's telling the man that again, when he should welcome the man as a prodigal son. Welcome, my good and faithful servant. Why say sods or sot? You think Mr. Walter have anything to lose? Mr. Walter bread well butter. He all right. But you giving yourself problems when the man is speaking. Let him speak for his labor. And do what you have to do for you, whatever you have to do. You castigating the man. And you're going to tell me you're not sot. Anyway. I don't think I can go on any longer because I am 2 minutes away from ending my program. And if you guys know me well, I never go beyond 60 minutes. So we're done. I'm not even going to take any comments because I don't think I have the time to so do. But I'm happy that you were able to join. And if you did not join, as I normally say, most of you join me incognito. So if you're one of those incognito listeners, that's okay. I will hopefully hear from you behind the scenes, and maybe you will also share the information that you heard today. I'm tempted, I'm tempted to take messages. Let me ask my producer, should I take a message or two? Let's do 2 minutes. Put up any 2 messages for me, anyone. It could be criticism, whatever. Put it up for me. Let me deal with it quickly, Mr. Producer. All right. Sam Hill. Maybe not criticizing is the first problem because everyone afraid to call out the foolishness. They think they're doing great. My bro, I hear you, but I think you're wasting your time. These people don't want help. Boy, when Sam Hill can tell me that, I have to believe that. But that is a man of high repute. This man, I admire this man. So Sam, boy, you convince me because I believe you. When you speak, Sam, I have to believe you because I know where you come from and I know the kind of person that you are. Boy, but I'm going to take a chance and think they still might need the help. Although I think you're right, but I'm still going to take the chance. Okay, my brother? I'm still going to take the chance. So don't hold it against me, but I'm going to take it. You know me already. I'm going to try again. One more time to see what happens. All right. Let's put one more comment on the screen, Mr. Producer. I see William James had one. I'm not too sure if it's anyone you can grab. William James. Me and you could have West Indies easy. So many Dominicans, they pressed likewise. Villagers from Dominica. I like that. True, True, William. I mean, I was severely pressed. But it was tight, But I could have made the team go. When I scored a 30-40, fellas just wanted him scoring 20 and 15 and making it. And I'm there playing cricket, nice, looking clean, driving, hooking, pulling. Can't make 4 years we coming from Calibishi going Rose on trials. Can't go and tour with West Indies with Dominica. No, man, I did 20 years I retired from that, man. that, man. Leave that alone, guys. That makes sense, boy. And I'd like for fellas that stay for a party, a team, and just die with it, you know. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. And that's what I did. I leave the cricket for them. I get into work, business. I start to hustle to take care of my children. And that sky was the limit. Whenever I feel pressed somewhere, I move on. All right. One more message, Mr. Producer and Annabelle. I'm in from here. If you have it. If not, let me call it a day. Okay, William says, I just hope that our Dominica players will encourage the young players in Dominica. Dominica, them did not spend that much money on the pitch. They are damn liars. Also, Alex, don't worry so much, my friend. LOL. They're going to drop that when you're going to drop something you funny. Anyway, I cannot really make it out because again, I'm wearing glasses today, okay, guys, and I'm about 40. So no excuses. Yes, that's what I heard Cecil Joseph said. But again, when Cecil speak, I don't quite take him on 100%. So probably he didn't give the full details. I'm not saying he's lying. Probably he didn't offer all the complete details of how much money the government spent. But I think I heard him say, or was it Daryl Teat? But it's the same thing. Mem bet mem poel. Half a dozen of 1/6 of the other. I think it was Daryl who said that's $1 million. Daryl, not Cecil, Daryl. And he said so at a reception at Melville. Or, yeah, so it was Daryl. Okay, so give Cecil a break. It was Daryl who said that. So if they say it's $1 million, it's $1 million. And what can we say? I mean, our government will never lie to us, would they? They never will. So I believe my government. I trust my government. Is my government. Because if I'm in government tomorrow, I want you guys to trust me. Same. Anyway, it was nice. I'll see you guys next week, Sunday. I promise to have somebody from the Put Pen to Paper team on with us. If not, I will drag them, but I'm going to get them. And if anybody wants to register a child, let's do that now. Inbox me quickly. Let's fix that up and let's have a child or two join the team tomorrow at the UWI, University of the West Indies, for Put Pen to Paper. Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure. See you next week, Sunday. God bless.